Ooh, there's a bunch. I think, but yeah, whether or not one that sticks out is Malachi Corley has been on my mind. Part of me says I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't dress, but then another part of me says, "What are you crazy? We're not going to go into that game without a backup slot receiver. What if Xavier Gibson pulled a hamstring? There's no one else, so he has to dress because you need to have a backup at every position, right? So, but the fact that I had to wonder if he was going to dress, not because I think he's a bust, simply because I just don't know if he's ready. Like, I don't know how, like, I mean, he might be, they might be hiding their cards, right? I mean, you can't judge anything by preseason. So they might be hiding their cards. They might have some plays for him. I don't know if even if we do have plays for him, if you're going to do that and test the waters against the 49ers on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy to wonder if he's going to play or not. And I hear what you're saying that you need a backup slot, but another factor that goes into this, how ready is Mike Williams? Because we already heard that Robert Saleh earlier today said that he is going to be on a pitch count.
Yeah.
So do they want another bigger receiver? If that's the case, maybe they activate or elevate rather Jason Brownlee from the practice squad and have him ready if they look like, or if they feel like they need the bigger receiver in that instance. If not, maybe they do want to go small. Like, I think it's going to be dependent on what their game plan is. And I think maybe we'll have a better idea on Monday night when we find out like who's active, who's inactive, what the plan is actually going to be. But the fact that it's not like a definitive, yes, he is playing in this game, he's going to be featured, isn't great. I'm not saying, Malachi Corley bust, but it was a relatively quiet summer for Malachi Corley. And based on what we saw in the preseason, I don't think he's going to come out flying, and start putting up buckets and buckets of receiving yards out of the gate.
Yeah. I'm not expecting a lot from him. If he doesn't play, I'm not freaking out. If he doesn't dress, I'm not freaking out. That's the thing, and I know a lot of people will. I mean, obviously, before the game, we're going to find out about that. We have you thought it was hard to cut down this roster to 53, even with people on the injured reserve. It was hard. Just imagine how difficult it's going to be to cut it down to 48 when you actually have to decide who you're not going to dress. There's going to be 5 people that don't dress, and there's no way there's going to be at least one at an absolute minimum that's going to upset this fan base.
Yeah, there is going to be a move that bothers people, and Malachi not playing, or even if he does start and maybe he has no targets. Like, remember in week 1 last year, Mecole Hardman didn't have a target, and we were kind of like, well, that's weird. And then he ends up getting shipped out. And I don't think Malachi Corley's getting traded and throwing the Jets under the bus after he leaves, like Mecole Hardman did. But I do think, especially early on in the year, I think our expectations have to be pretty limited on Corley. I don't think we should expect him to come in and give you 50 receiving yards. Maybe we're looking at a couple catches through the first few games, and then I think second half of the year, is when he's going to hit his stride.
Yeah. No, I totally see. He's going to develop. I mean, he's got some raw skills there and got some talent. There's a reason we picked him. I just think we got to be patient, at the end of the day.
What's up, guys? Matt O'Leary from Talkin' Jets. If you liked that video, please make sure to subscribe and follow for more New York Jets content.